Germany has made another pledge to support Ukraine with heavy weaponry, announcing today the supply of 7 self-propelled armoured howitzers. Now, the artillery system, which resembles a tank, has a reported range of up to 40 kilometres. The German military will also offer training to Ukrainian troops. Berlin has been under pressure to do more to help Ukraine defend itself against the Russian invasion. Last month, the government agreed to export German-made anti-aircraft tanks. And for more on this, I'm joined now by DW's chief political correspondent, Melinda Crane. Melinda, welcome. Germany is saying it will deliver more heavy weapons to Ukraine. What more can you tell us about that?
That's right. This announcement was made this morning by Defense Minister Lambrecht, who is currently visiting German soldiers deployed in Slovakia, where they're helping to reinforce NATO's eastern flank. And these 7 howitzers are exactly the kind of heavy weapons that Ukraine has been asking Germany to provide. Minister Lambrecht said that Germany will also offer training. That has been a source of uncertainty in the past, and one of the reasons that Germany has been hesitant about delivering heavy weapons because of concern about how training could be interpreted by Russia, whether that could be seen essentially as making Germany a kind of party to the conflict. The German government has, as you said, repeatedly been accused by the leadership in Kiev of not doing enough to help defend it against the Russian invasion. And until just 10 days ago, Berlin had been quite reluctant to provide heavy weapons. But Chancellor Scholz does appear to have changed course under pressure from allies and even from his own coalition partners, and has also pledged to export German-made Gepard armored anti-aircraft vehicles to Ukraine. So definitely we are seeing movement now on the part of Berlin.
If we can talk about relations between Berlin and Kyiv, they have been tense recently after, Germany's President Frank-Walter Steinmeier was told that he was not welcome in Ukraine. But according to Chancellor Olaf Scholz, it does seem that the diplomatic hatchet has now been buried. Let's just take a listen in.
The German president and the Ukrainian president spoke very carefully to each other. That's a good thing. I spoke in detail to the German president about it beforehand and afterwards. And the result of the conversation is that the foreign minister will soon be in Ukraine.
So it seems the diplomatic spat has been smoothed out, yet Scholz still isn't going to Ukraine. Why is that?
Well, Scholz has, in fact, in the past made no secret of his irritation over the fact that the German president essentially was disinvited from visiting Ukraine. There had been a very short-term planned visit when he would have gone with his Polish counterpart, and Ukraine rather abruptly said that the German president would not be welcome. And Chancellor Scholz has spoken quite openly about his irritation over that. But it's difficult to speculate about the emotional side of Chancellor Scholz's remarks because, in fact, he is very restrained as a communicator. He comes from northern Germany, and he's known for understatement. If you listen to what President Steinmeier said yesterday after his telephone conversation with President Zelensky of Ukraine, it was far more effusive. And, in fact, Zelensky did invite the president as well as the German government to visit. So possibly Chancellor Scholz's hesitation is now simply a protocol issue because normally it is the president who makes such official state visits first.
Now, Olaf Scholz was quite heavily criticised for his reaction to the snub. The Ukrainian ambassador to Germany accused Scholz of sulking. How much public backing here in Germany does Olaf Scholz have for the way that he's handling this crisis in Ukraine?
The public is very divided, particularly on whether Germany should, in fact, meet Ukraine's request to send heavy weapons. The number of, or the share of polls that actually support that ranges between 45 to 56% of those surveyed. So essentially, the country is split, and that is particularly true of members of the Chancellor's own party, the Social Democrats. They have a long tradition of pacifism, of believing that good commercial relations with other countries will ensure peace and stability. And therefore, this is a difficult move for the German government to make. And we heard Chancellor Scholz on the traditional labor union rally on May 1st saying to his listeners in the face of catcalls that radical pacifism has now become obsolete. So clearly he is trying to take the public along with him, but at the moment the country is split for fear of being drawn into this conflict.
Melinda Crane, DW's chief political correspondent, thank you so much. And we're going to cross now to DW's chief political editor, Michaela Küffner, who is travelling with the German defence minister in Slovakia. Michaela, what can you tell us about the minister's visit?
Yeah, it's here in Slovakia that German Defence Minister Christine Lambrecht made the announcement that Germany will deliver 7 howitzers, bringing up the number to 12 that will go towards Ukraine. Here behind me, she's been inspecting Patriot defence systems. That's also another cooperation with the Netherlands, with the Dutch Defence Minister here as well. Both countries together will do the training on these howitzers in Germany. It will be Ukrainian soldiers coming here who will be trained, and that training is due to start as early as next week, with the howitzers being delivered over the coming weeks. We're not getting a more precise timeline, but quite clearly Germany willing to hand over more heavy weapons, always together with its allies within the NATO context, and also potentially willing to deliver more. That's what we're hearing. We know that there is a growing list in the German Chancellery of what can be done. So we expect this only to be the latest step in potential future heavy weapons deliveries.
DW's Michaela Küffner in Slovakia. Thank you.